Oh, my bad. Is it filming right now? Are we supposed to be doing something? Because I didn't know. What the fuck is up, everybody? Meeks here with another video, and today, as promised, I got the first music review ever, and it definitely won't be the last, so please let me know. Drop a comment down below if you like this content and you want to see more or have suggestions for future content, or drop a like so that I know that you like this stuff and I can keep on going and making more for y'all. Today album review is going to be on PNDX3. Now this is going to be PartyNextDoor's third installment to his albums that he's released so far. For those who don't know who PartyNextDoor is, let me enlighten you just a little bit. He is a rapper slash R&B artist from Toronto. I actually saw him live in concert where he performed some of his stuff off of PartyNextDoor 2, which is amazing experience. I actually went by myself and probably wouldn't have it any other way because I just wanted to soak up the moment of that live performance and getting to see him because he truly has some amazing music. Now with this album review that I'm about to do, I'm not going to do the entire album just because that seems a little bit tedious. There isn't a lot of in-depth scripture that's in between those lyrics that I could go into depth for you guys with. So I'll just pick the top 5. PartyNextDoor is signed to the OVO record label, and obviously if you follow him, he does lots of tracks with other Toronto artists, including Drake, which is probably one of the biggest ones that are out there. So I'm just going to pick my top 5 for you, and we'll start in no particular order, just from the start of the track list to the very bottom, what my top 5 are in that list, and we'll go over them right now. So without further ado, let's get started. The track of the song we're going to go into is Nothing Easy to Please. The breakdown of it is when he goes into the chorus, he says, I'm nothing easy to please and I don't fall easily. He's basically just saying, I want you to fight for this just as much as I want to fight for you, and if there's nothing to fight for, then we should just cut it out. So I feel like he's really upfront with that song. It definitely, after the chorus finally hits, you start feeling the vibe of the song and you get into the rest of it, which I feel like is definitely something I would say for all of these tracks. Listen to the entire song before you start judging them. That's what I try to do with artists that I actually like to listen to. Alright, so let's go into the next track. This next track I'm going to be getting into is called Nobody, and this one probably is one of my favorite for one specific reason, and that specific reason is because not only does it have meaningful lyrics that go into it, but it takes a sample from a really old song. If you are into this type of music, you probably have heard it too. And the sample is from a song by Wale that actually takes that's called the Need to Know, which has that little sample in the very beginning of Seinfeld. Everybody's heard it; it's been on the radio for forever. But that song actually took their sample from an original song called Just Friends by Music Soul Child. So with me being in love with both of those songs and the way that song vibes, it's definitely really cool to see them take that sample from a song that was sampled and then put it onto his track and give it a completely different feel. Nobody, basically just talking about there's nobody out there for me besides you, and if you don't see that, then I don't know what to do anymore, because you're the only person that I see in my life and that could be in my life, which is very, very deep meaning. I like that because it corresponds with all these other songs that they originally sampled from. So definitely definitely another one of my favorite tracks off of the album. Now let's go into Don't Know How. Don't Know How was one of those singles that were dropped before the actual album dropped to build up the anticipation, and I gotta say it does not disappoint whatsoever. Right out of the gate, the first line, it just bangs. It just sets it off the right tone, and it puts you in a positive vibe for a relationship song, unlike these other ones that are a little bit slower and get you in a more down mood and focusing on the actual lyrics and how they correspond with it. This one just comes straight out of the gate. First lyrics being, no girl, you're not sick, it's all in your stomach. Hey, not me fucking. Let me get deeper now, deeper than details now. Kissing your neck, like your thigh and your body. It's just like, from that point on, you know exactly where the song is leading towards, and I feel like with that one, you just get this really, really positive vibe about being in a relationship with somebody and the spark and the fun of it all in the very beginning. So I definitely recommend listening to this song. And at the very end, when he gets towards the chorus, it starts talking about I know you know how to make love and also how to fuck. So it's basically like describing this person and how she is intimate with PartyNextDoor and how it makes him feel, which is a completely cool thing to listen to and actually hear how he describes it through his lyrics, I guess I would say. Next thing we'll go into is Brown Skin. Brown Skin is definitely one of those songs that is just like has a weird vibe to it in the very beginning. Yeah, it's not as hyped up as all the other songs that were released onto this album as singles to build up the anticipation, but with Brown Skin, I feel like if you've been listening to PartyNextDoor since the very beginning, PartyNextDoor 1, and PartyNextDoor 2, and PartyNextDoor ×3, I feel like he loves to describe the women that he is attracted to. And with this one, it's all corresponded to brown skin, basically the darker skin tone, and he refers to this in a song called Grown Woman, which I believe came off of his first album that he released. And it talks about a dark-skinned girl with a light-skinned crew, her pretty face and them high-heel shoes, got love for them niggas. And it's just like the way that it goes into it is basically just describing this type of woman that he likes. And it's not saying I don't like white girls or I don't like, you know, any other type of race. It's basically just saying, hey, I like the darker skin tone and this is why the darker skin tone is beautiful to me. And with that one, I feel like it has a really, really good vibe. It starts off with brown skin, I need you, oh so sweet. And he talks about relaying or using a metaphor for kisses, you know, because it's chocolate. As referred to her actual kisses are so sweet, like kisses. It's just like, it's a really dope vibey song, and I gotta say it's probably one of my favorites listed off of this as well. Why it's in my top 5. Very last one I'll go into is probably the one that everybody has heard, which is Come and See Me. Come and See Me is, again, one of those tracks that were released. This one does feature Drake on it, which everybody is happy to see, because when you have a Drake and PartyNextDoor song, it's an instant banger. It's kind of like Drake and Rihanna. You automatically just have to listen to it and you love it. So when you listen to this song, Come and See Me, this one's a little bit more slowed down. Drake comes in, why you gotta start, girl, why you gotta start? You know, we made time for the things that we want, and starts breaking down how if I'm not the person that you want to make time for or set time aside for, and come and see me, then why should I come and see you? And then it goes into the chorus of like, that's all that I'm hearing is come and see me, you don't do enough for me. But he's experiencing that exact same thing, saying that you don't do enough for me, so why would I put in the effort for you? And how a relationship corresponds with like how other people see you in a relationship, offer advice, meddle in your relationships, and this one's kind of like, we just need to see each other so that we can fix this by ourselves. We don't need anybody else to fix it, we should see each other. And it kind of wraps into the overall perception of this song, which is trying to fix a relationship with those two people instead of other people meddling, instead of saying that, or you know, putting blame on somebody in the relationship. It's 50-50. You have to take it that way, and that's how you work on a relationship. So definitely a really dope vibe for that one as well. And that will wrap it up for the top 5 songs off of PNDX3. It was amazing doing this music review. Like I said, if there's any other music reviews that you would like to see come up in the future, please let me know in the description down below of an artist or a track that you'd like me to go in depth about. Because this definitely will not be the last one. And with that being said, Meeks shoes out. Squaw!